I want to express my deepest disappointment
molestia más profunda.
and we ordered you not to drive and you promised us you would not drive. And now you've picked up another DWI.
She was found asleep at the wheel. Truck running, parked in the middle of a traffic lane, open alcohol containers everywhere, and a blood alcohol level more than double the legal limit. But that is not what Judge Fleischer is focused on right now. He is focused on one thing. She was already on bond for a DWI. She looked at this court and she promised she would not drive. And then she did, what Judge Fleischer does next. And what he discovers about her status is going to change everything about this hearing.
Good morning, Ms. Tabora. How's jail?
No,
Ok, eso solo. ¿Cómo está la cárcel?
How's jail?
¿Cómo está? ¿Cómo es la cárcel?
fea.
Good.
Bien.
You now have picked up another DWI while you're on bond for DWI.
Estaba libre bajo
We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
On October 13th, 2024, officers were dispatched in regard to a traffic hazard at West Belfort and Nobility Drive in Harris County, Texas. Upon arrival, officers met with the defendant, who was observed to be parked on northbound lane with her truck on and in park and asleep at the wheel. When the defendant finally woke up after multiple attempts, the officers observed glassy eyes, constricted pupils, an odor of an alcoholic beverage, and swaying, as well as multiple open and closed alcoholic containers in the vehicle, and spilled alcohol in the front portion.
Alcohol in the car while she's driving?
Yes, Your Honor. She was not the only occupant. The defendant admitted to consuming alcohol prior to operating the vehicle. Standard field sobriety test were conducted. HGN 2 out of 6, walk and turn 4 out of 8, in the one leg stand.
Paro de una pierna. But not too fast, man.
Yes.
Thanks.
2 out of 4.
Dos de cuatro pistas en el paro de una pierna.
DIC was read,
Se leyó.
and the defendant consented to breath test.
Consentimiento previo.
The results were 0.162 and 0.156.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Is that her? Ma'am, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. What is that?
¿Qué es eso?
I want to express my deepest disappointment
Molestia más profunda.
and we ordered you not to drive and you promised us you would not drive. And now you've picked up another DWI.
Otro caso de manejo ebrio.
Which I've already spoken with the state. We're gonna see what we need to work out.
I don't know if I'm going to take anything today, Marcos.
She has been in custody for 2 days, Your Honor. I understand.
Entiendo.
It screams to me that there are issues, and the last thing I want is to have her go back out there and kill someone. I mean, we have 2 DWIs in rapid succession, 0.19, and a bunch of alcohol in the car.
I will say, Your Honor,
Allegedly.
and I've already spoken with the state about the first one. The first one is not a strong case for the state. She's the one who called 911 because she was assaulted outside of the club. The fire department got there before the officers. They saw her in the passenger seat with a bloody face. And her arm was injured as well. I've already spoken with the state.
I don't remember. All I know that there was enough PC to go forward. There's an affidavit. She promised us she's not going to drive.
I understand. There's also a question on the second one as to whether she was operating or not. There are 3 people in the vehicle. And again, all of this we're going to try to flush out with the evidence.
Sure.
That's where I was going to try to get her a bond.
I am going to set a bond, but I'm going to tell you now, because she drove in violation of the affidavit, I'm going to make it a high bond.
I understand.
You know, I'm setting both of your bonds at $15,000.
$100.
She does have an ISOL, Judge,
Tiene
so
orden de
that's
detención de
why,
inmigración.
in light of that fact.
A luz de ese hecho,
She does have an ISOL?
We just found out this morning, Your Honor.
Now have an immigration
tiene
detainer.
orden de detención de inmigración.
Do you realize what this means?
¿Usted se da cuenta de lo que esto significa?
Who do you have here that depends on you?
Que depende de usted.
Do you have any,
Los hijos,
My two sons,
how old are they?
¿qué edad tienen ellos?
la niña 2 años va a cumplir el 20 de octubre y mi niño va a cumplir 6 años el 23 de diciembre.
October, my daughter will be 2 years old, and my boy in December will be 6 years old, I believe. 6 años tiene.
I was going to suggest in the event that you wanted to work something out, that I was wanting to do a TRAS to see how best to go forward. But now with an immigration detainer, that's just,
Migración.
there's no,
Una-
let me ask you this. Do you think that you'll be able to get her an immigration bond? You want to try?
She already has an immigration attorney. There may be a chance.
Pueda que haya una oportunidad.
Perhaps,
She's only been in the country 3 years.
Solo está en el país por 3 años.
I don't know.
Was
La
if
realidad
she
sale
were
siendo
to
que-
keep both
que
cases
si ella
open
mantiene
and
los casos
pay the
abiertos
bond here
y pagar
and
la
go with
fianza
immigration, the
y allá
two
con
open
inmigración,
DWIs,
con dos
I don't
personas,
anticipate them
no anticipo que
giving her a
ellos
bond
le
at all.
den
She'd be
fianza.
a danger to the community.
Pues pensando que ese es
You guys want to try or no?
We can always try,
Siempre
but
podemos
she
intentar,
would rather,
pero
she's
ella
not gonna be able to pay those two bonds in an immigration bond. And I think a lot of the fact that the first DWI is pretty weak, we're gonna resolve both cases, dismiss one, plead one, and then have her sent to immigration, and then her immigration attorney is gonna try to get her bond
Out of a
one
position. Person then try to get a bond?
Once she's over there, yes, because if she goes over there with two DWI, she's not gonna get a bond.
Porque si va ya con 2 casos de manejo
That's
ebrio, no
why.
le van a dar fianza. Yo entiendo, eso es porque
One mistake can literally cost you your entire life. And I don't know if you understand or get the gravity of it.
la gravedad.
I hope one day you do.
Ojalá que algún día usted
One simple mistake. Over. Like I said, I'm gonna find that there's probable cause. I'm ordering you, if you get out on one ankle, to put a GPS monitor and not to be out in the middle of the night. You will be given a 9 PM
toque
or 7 PM to 7 AM curfew.
7 de la mañana, toque de queda.
On your other ankle, you will get a scram
Alcoholímetro.
monitor, so I know that you're not consuming
Saber
alcohol.
que usted no está consumiendo alcohol.
Again, I'm ordering you not to drive. But like we've said, there's an immigration detainer, so the likelihood of you getting out is probably pretty slim. Regardless, I'm gonna set both bonds, or I'll set the new bond at 15,000,
What, Your Honor?
15,000.
Su caso nuevo,
15,000 even?
excuse me.
Yeah, 15,001. And I'm gonna do the other one as well, 15,001 as well. You want to set off a week, 2 weeks? What do you want to do?
Semana.
I don't know if I'm prepared to do something today.
Si estoy preparado para hacer algo en este caso, hágase más
Can I
adelante.
run another court, handle some other stuff,
Ir a otro
then
tribunal y
Of course.
volver
come
a
back,
ver
then I'll talk.
Take your time. I mean,
su tiempo.
I'm never gonna say no.
No va a decir que no.
I guess we'll talk.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
For sure.
El oficial.
Officers stopped a man for jaywalking. When they ran his name, they found a warrant for aggravated sexual assault of a child. They also found a gun and marijuana. By every instinct, this looks like an open and shut case. But Judge Fleischer is about to look at the stop itself, and what he finds is going to surprise the courtroom.
Trevion Woods. Mr. Woods, you're charged with possession of marijuana. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Wanna make it the cause number for this?
2533-007.
Okay. Officers observed the defendant walking in the middle of the street when a sidewalk was available next to him. And the officers asked the defendant for his Texas driver's license.
Again,
Yes, Your Honor.
jaywalking,
Yes, Your Honor.
again,
The officers discovered a warrant out for the defendant's arrest out of McLennan County for aggravated sexual assault of a child. And the officers detained the defendant and discovered a gun and 6 grams of marijuana.
hold on. So what, walking while,
It was walking in the middle of the
while
street.
black again? Again, jaywalking? Where?
Let me read the office report.
It sounds like he was detained pursuant to the warrant.
But they didn't know that. I mean, it just, unless the officer knew him, I mean,
Yes, Your Honor. The DIMS just says the officer observed the defendant not walking or walking in the middle of the street.
so, dude, you gotta be careful in this life, man. You know, just do the right thing. It's not hard, man. All right, I'm gonna find no probable cause, Mr. Woods. You gotta be careful, man, you know? So is he on bond currently for the other case now as well, or no? You know what? Doesn't even matter. Just be careful in this life. You have but one life. How old are you? You're 24. What are you doing now? Working, school? Good. Get your education. The more you educate yourself, the higher you're gonna rise up in life. It correlates with money too. The higher education you got, more money you're gonna make in life, the better you are off. That's the rub. That's what you gotta do. All right? Okay, man. Hang tight for me, okay? Please.
This is not his first assault case. It is not his second or his third. Judge Fleischer is looking at a man who has picked up violent charges 6 or 7 times. Before he accepts the plea, Judge Fleischer wants to know one thing. Why does this keep happening? The answer changes how this hearing ends.
Janine,
Yes, sir, I will plead, Judge. We're gonna plead Mr. Walter Moses, Your Honor. We're proceeding on the assault of a family member case under cause number 2510200, Your Honor. And the state upon completion of the plea will dismiss cause number 2510615.
good morning, Mr. Moses. How are you?
Good.
Shh. Why does this keep happening? This is your 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, but it's the 6th time you've picked up a kind of case where it's a violent case. Actually, 7. It keeps happening. Why? Why so much anger? Do you take any medication?
Yes, sir.
Do you stop taking the medication?
No, sir.
How do you get your medication when you're out there in the free world? When you picked up these 2 cases, had you stopped taking the medication? You were still taking it?
I actually finished up.
Meaning, so you finished, you didn't have any more.
Still gonna pick it up.
Council for reset?
We had him TRAS. TRAS said mental health caseload, or what did they say? And that's what we're doing, right? Okay. What are the other alternatives that we have?
They want to do the mental health case, IFP, thank you for a change, and then you're gonna help them with the council. And then we'll report, twice a month. That's how they make sure that you.
What about paying for IOP and all that?
If it qualifies to be the top funded one, because it's been held responsible.
I mean, how do we make sure that he qualifies? Because I don't, Mr. Moses, do you work when you go out? When you're out of jail, do you work? Who do you live
Sorry,
with?
no, yes, sir, sir. you want.
It's okay, Mr. D. Who do you live with? And when you leave here now, are you going to be able to stay with mom?
Yes, sir.
Do you know that for,
I don't know that for a fact, Your Honor.
before you were in jail, who were you living with?
Yeah.
Council for reset.
One of the things that you're going to have to do is an intensive outpatient treatment. The problem is that it's expensive. It's not cheap. It's around $500 to $600 to do that. And I don't know if that's something that you have to be able to pay for. If not, I want to try to get you to, I want to see if we can pay for it. How do we,
I'll do an indigency form with him and then he'll be placed on a wait list if he qualifies. He's on probation, or he'll be on probation.
if this fails, what else do we have at our disposal?
If this goes and he starts violating, then they'll place him in there. That's how it is.
So I want you to understand, Mr. Moses, that we want this to work for you. But you also have to want it to work. If you do something to violate this agreement, you don't do your treatment, you don't stay up on your probation, if you just leave, one of the options is putting you in a residential facility. Do you understand what that means? That means that you will be in, it's not in the actual jail, it's at another facility, right? It's at a lockdown facility that you will not be able to leave, and then you'll be getting treatment. We are trying to do it this way so that you can try to do this while you're out there in the free world doing this by yourself. But if you're not able to, we're going to have to take other measures. Can you get this done?
Yes, sir.
Do you know what's required for you to successfully finish?
Yes, sir.
What do you have to do? Yes. What programs do you have to do? Do you know? You have to do anger management class, right? It's a,
I think for a
Thank you
change.
for a change.
okay, so just you have to do a thinking for a change, which is a class where you teaches you how to think when you're in a bad situation. You also have to do outpatient treatment so that we know that you're actually speaking to people, working through any kind of anger issues that you may have.
Yes, sir.
And substance abuse.
And substance abuse. No drugs, no alcohol. You cannot use any illegal drugs, including marijuana. No marijuana, no illegal drugs, and no alcohol. They're going to test you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If you complete this successfully, you do not end up with a conviction. But you need to understand that there's still,
He will be a convicted judge, it's straight probation.
oh, it is straight.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Oh, I thought it was a
They told me
deferred.
because he had the state jail conviction up in felony court and the numerous of cases that he had that were assaultive in nature, that they were not willing to offer him.
Okay. This assault, it's going on your record. There's what's called an affirmative finding of family violence. If you pick up another case like this, you will be facing a third-degree felony. Minimum 2 years in prison, a maximum of 10 years in prison if you ever pick up another assault like this again. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
That's years in prison, not days like you are here, years. You can never own a gun or ammunition as a result of this as well. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, so no guns, no ammunitions as well. I'm sorry, it's no weapons, right?
Yes,
No
correct.
weapons. Weapons is a very loose term. If you have any questions about what a weapon is, you have to talk to a lawyer, but be very, very careful. You understand?
Sir.
You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, you cannot change your mind. You must complete this, and it's a 2-year probation. You understand? How do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty? I will find you guilty, sentence you to 1 year in jail. However, I will probate that for 2 years. You've already done the TRAS, so we don't need to do that, but intensive outpatient treatment, thinking for a change, and the mental health caseload. If you ever have a problem, come back to us here. We can help you if you come here. But if you just leave and don't do anything, that's the worst thing that can happen. Don't leave. Come back. Good things will happen if you come back. Are we okay?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions? Good luck, Mr. Moses. I hope that you can make it. Okay, thanks.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No. He's banned. Yes, hold on, Mr. D, I forgot something. Hold on, I forgot. Hey, I don't think he's gonna have anything to pay for anything, so we need, like, we gotta get him. Okay, I have to have you sign one more document that you need to understand, Mr. Moses, that you are now ineligible, meaning that you cannot have a firearm or ammunition. I'm going to read this to you so you understand this, okay? A firearm means any device designated, made, or adapted to expel a projectile through a barrel by using an energy generated by an explosion or burning substance, or any device readily convertible to that use. If you now possess a firearm or ammunition, it could lead to charges against you. If you have any questions about how long you will be ineligible, you must talk to a lawyer and they should be able to contact you and consult you about that. I need you to sign this so you understand that you cannot have any more weapons, okay? Okay, all right. Thank you, Mr. D.
3 cases, 3 completely different legal moments. In the first, a defendant broke a promise to the court and Judge Fleischer made sure the consequences reflected that. High bond, strict conditions, and an immigration detainer that may keep her locked up regardless. In the second, Judge Fleischer found no probable cause because the law requires more than a jaywalking stop to justify a search, no matter what the officers found. In the third, a judge refused to accept a routine plea without first asking the hard question. Why does this keep happening? Because understanding the pattern is the only way to break it. Real court does not always look the way you expect. But in Judge Fleischer's courtroom, the details always matter, and the consequences are always real. Subscribe to Court Beacon TV for more real courtroom breakdowns.